Boom. Right. Welcome everyone. Okay, so we usually start off as some of you guys should know. Welcome to the new guys. But some of older guys, the veterans, if you could call them that, know that we usually start off with our euro dollar. Okay. It's just sort of like a custom. There's no real particular reason for us to do so, but for me, the euro dollar has been in a strong decline. Okay. We've been in bearish mode on the euro dollar, and I still do expect, the euro dollar to continue on its downward spiral. There's nothing major on the higher time frames, especially on the daily time frame. So if we drop down to daily, there's not much really that we can see that price can resist from the right. So we're looking at this from a technical standpoint. There is a bit of a gap around 107, 1777. Okay, that could be a bit of a retracement that we can expect around that area. But aside from that, I don't see any strong pullback any time soon on the euro dollar. Right, so I did highlight a dollar, I think 50 cent. Okay, dollar 50 cent. Okay, 150 even. Okay, as a really crucial support level there, and sort of like a minor one at 107. So we're going to be looking at the euro dollar to continue its downward spiral. I did mention that I was looking for parity long term on the euro dollar, and it doesn't seem that observed right now. I think I said that at the beginning of the year, if I'm not mistaken. It was sometime towards the end of last year. I can't quite remember, but it is actually performing, or it is heading in the direction that the technicals were pointing us to. Right. So if we then zoom into our smaller time frames, right? So looking at much shorter opportunity, you can see the EMA, this 200 moving average. Okay, you see the moving average coming in nice and close to the 4 hour, right? So we had a spike above that moving average, right into that structure. Remember the trend line we actually drew in a few weeks ago. The market came in right tagged that level. Right. I know some brokers probably will not giving you a fill on this one because it was a bit too tight. But as you guys know, if you have a pending order, okay, pending orders go at least 5 pips before, or 5 pips, well, 5 pips before basically, where you want the actual entry to be. So if you want your entry to be at 1164, you have to pull down at least, say, from the 5 pips to 1159 for you to get a really decent fill from some brokers, because the market might tag that level, right? Or might just come close to you by 2 or 3 pips and then shift in the opposite direction and leaving your order, to hang there for the next 2 or 3 weeks, and you sort of like kicking yourself for not putting it closer. Okay. All right, so we can see the swing high from last week, right? So significant swing high on the smaller time frames, right? So the smaller time frames, we see that swing high as a potential play. I think it is at 110.84, right? So 110.84 on my chart. Okay, so that is the previous week's high. Could play a significant role in the continuation of the move to the downside, and therefore I'd like to see a spike around this area over here. So we do have 2 or 3 things lining up here. So definitely we would look for a play to around 108.84 rather, to between 1104, right? 1104. That's why I like to see probably a spike to the upside and then a continuation of the move to the downside. I really don't believe that this is a reversal on the euro dollar. I do believe that the market is still in the bearish mode. Right? You guys know I don't really trade a test trade. It's much too sophisticated and it gets stopped out a lot if you try to do that. So I just like to keep it simple, and yeah, we're looking at 110, right, and 111. So like 110, 111. Okay. The USD CHF. Okay. I think I'm using this chart for the second time, so I might have to set up a few things on it. USD CHF, we saw a significant spike, I think, last month on the low side, on the downside, which, okay, right, so this is the low I'm talking about, at 96.55. Right? So this proved to be the low of the year. Right? The low of the year was, I think, probably January, established in January, and a bit of an extension on the low around June, if I'm not mistaken. And then last month we had this spike to the downside. Boom, the market extended that low. Okay, boom, about 55 pips, and just trade back to the upside of this one. Okay, now if you understand a bit about correlation, if the euro dollar is supposedly going down, then the USD CHF should be on an upward trend, right, an upward value. Now, if you're looking at the weekly, right, so this is a 1 week chart, we see that the market has been in sideways consolidation on the higher time frames. Okay, so if we look at this range, right, so this look the range from this low through to that high is about 1,000, if I'm not mistaken. Am I seeing right? Or is it 10,000? Okay. So in terms of the range, let's check. Okay. Right. So from from 91, 93 to 10269. So that's actually the range. Market hasn't been trending in any particular direction, but there have been a lot of opportunities. Now, in obviously sideways consolidation market, I always look for buys as well as sells. Right? So that for me really points to the direction that there's a potential for buying, right? And there's a potential for shorting in that particular example. So if we're looking at how the market behaves, right? So if you're looking at how the market behaves around this low, right? This really does signify that we could see a potential push to the upside. However, I like to see some significant levels being broken first. Right? So we have to see market breaking a significant level because it hasn't done anything just as yet. Right? There's no reason for us to get excited and start going long on the USD CAD. However, there is a bit of, well, there are plenty of reasons, which we'll go into a bit later on during the course of the week, as to why this could be a potential play to the upside, right? So therefore, sort of like validating our short bias on the US, on the euro dollar. Okay. Are you guys with me? Okay, right. Right, so we do see a really good swing, right? So from this low, I think from 2 weeks back through to that swing high of last week, we hit that 50, 62% Fibonacci retracement, and there's a bit of an area where we had sort of like that base form, okay? And the market just dropped aggressively, moved sideways, and then dropped again, forming sort of like what's referred to as a base if you're talking supply and demand, and then market came back into that particular area, right? Market came back into that particular area last week, boom, and market shifted. Now, a lot of you guys know that I prefer to have trades or positions open up close to that big figure, Right? Hopefully, everyone can still hear me. My connection is really bad. Not sure if it's the wind or what. Okay. Now, if you're looking at this round number or the big figure, you're looking at 98 even, right? 98 even is where the market sort of like made that swing low and then extended to the upside, right? We'll touch on a bit about that when we actually get to the sessions again, but you should always be cognizant of aware of those round numbers, those big figures, those play a very crucial role, especially when you're talking reversals. Because if we can look closely even on this reversal from last month, okay, on reversal from last month, I think it turned at, I can't quite remember because I don't take this here often. Okay, so I think 9,700 was the previous level. Okay, 9,700 was this particular low, and the market extended that 9,700 by 50 or so pips, so it dropped down to 96.50 if I'm not mistaken, before the market made an extension to the upside. So I'm definitely looking at upward opportunities. Right? Definitely need to see something pulling back into the zone again. Right? So drop on the fib and just check during the course of the week whether we do have a particular trade set up. But you can see also the moving average is moving quite nicely just below the market price, and therefore could offer us some really decent opportunities. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me just drop this one here. All right. Because it does seem like I'm using the wrong one before here. Don't have my template set up. Right, so if we're looking at the Australian dollar, US dollar, I've also been short on the Australian dollar, US dollar. The only thing that made me a bit skeptical of my short bias was this spike low. If you look at the spike low at 67.25, so 67.25, and the market has just been playing around there, more sideways consolidation, really just tightening up the range. And we saw last week, okay, a swing to the downside, right, at 66.88, right, so 66.88 was the low, and the market just extended that low just by a few pips, probably 5 or 10 pips, well, 5 to 2 pips, if I'm not mistaken, and just really made a rally to the upside, right? I'm not quite sure how many pips this is, from 68 to 65. Okay, that's like 185 pips. Okay, so 185 pips, we can see that the market has made a significant push to the upside. Okay, right. That's not a small, especially for this market. However, if we're looking at it from a technical standpoint, we do have this swing low over here, which is 68.65, right? Which was a pretty significant level because it did form somewhat of a support structure. And if we look back on the 4-hour time frame, you see that the market did react, boom, push up, and then break that low, and then come back to retest it, and then shift away from that area, consolidating, and then pushing back into that same particular area. Okay, so I'd love to see the market move away from that zone. Okay, once the market starts moving away from that zone, I'm not going to be sort of going to be neutral around this area over here. The market does then move to the downside. I'd definitely look to average in on my short bias, and hopefully if we break these swing lows, that 67.25 level, then we are looking at a potential play long term to 60.27, and that would be take profit 2, and take profit 1 long term will be 62.41. Right. So definitely a lot of pips on the table. Okay. We'll talk a bit more about the risk and the reward side of things, but if it does play out quite nicely, quite decently, and you don't really get a good entry, there's a potential 500 pips on this trade, and second take profit would be about 731 pips. So not bad at all. So we'll just definitely keep an eye on this particular market for the coming weeks. Okay. And I think the US dollar CAD, okay, dollar CAD on the weekly, you see that the market has been making some very significant pushes to the upside since probably 2011, 2012, if I'm not mistaken. And if we're looking at what the market has been doing quite lately, there was a bit of sideways consolidation, which was for close to a month, right? The market was sort of like ranging close to a month. And if you look closely, we had the swing high, which was, okay, we had the swing high into this previous market structure, okay, previous market structure from these lows over here. And if we drop down to our 4-hour chart, we'll probably see where the play actually came in, right? So this was a previous support structure when the market came, broke it, came back in again, right? And then broke down again to the downside. Now, for me, technically, I'm not a strong believer on the short, on the dollar CAD just as yet. Okay. I know some people would definitely take the short, right? QML and all these other guys, but for me personally, I don't think I would be looking to take it short right at the moment. Okay, if you got any questions, guys, just type them in our chat, right? Just type them in the chat, and periodically just remind me to take a look at it. Okay. Just type in the chat, and if I feel like it's relevant to this particular section, then we'll just do it then, or if not, I'll just do it towards the end of the session. Okay. All right, so I'll be looking for the market does continue the drop to the downside. Certainly, I'm looking at 130, okay, 130.06, somewhere around there. That swing area over there will definitely play somewhat of a significant role in giving me some like that bias whether we are continuing with the move to the upside or not, right? If you're looking at it from a long-term trader's perspective, we are still in sort of like a ranging type market because the range is established at 103.0670, right? And that high, I think that's 35.68, and the market has still been in the sideways like sort of consolidation. So, I mean, long term, you can still see that we haven't broken any significant levels to the downside, and therefore there really isn't anything to warrant short bias. However, I mean, if you are looking to trade, you'd could trade in both ways in this one. That swing low, you'd be looking to buy, and those swing highs, you'd be looking to short the market, right? Because it's in sideways consolidation. So it's just going to be those moves up and down. Okay. Right, guys, any questions so far? Okay, no questions so far, guys. All right, okay, if there are no questions, we'll just continue. I think we have about one more that we need to look at with the ones that we do have on our market watch. All right, so USDJPY, right, dollar yen. Okay, it's been a while since I actually took a trade on the dollar yen. We can see a very significant level, right, which was last year's low, which was sort of like broken 2 weeks ago, and then the market, 3 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, 3 weeks ago, and the market just pulled away from that level, right, very aggressively. So, and if we're looking at the structure long term, I mean, we still do see somewhat of a ranging market, right? So I've highlighted this one before, okay, looking at monthly. not really giving us what some would term as a flag. I don't really have the name that I use for it, but it just generally means the same thing as a flag. Right. The market is just contracting, right? Contracting and sort of like building up all this. Now we're looking for particularly a breakout. Right? We take a breakout to the upside. We take a breakout to the downside in this particular example. However, that doesn't mean we're not going to be able to trade it. We'll be able to trade it both ways. Because if the market is aggressively bearish, we want to trade short only. And if the market is aggressively bullish, then you want to hold long predominantly. Right. Now, if the market is sideways consolidation or is consolidating sideways rather, then you have a bit more freedom in that you can actually take the buys and you can take the shorts as long as you do your analysis very accurately or appropriately. Now, looking at the 4-hour time frame, we have the structure, the market structure, previous week's low. Okay? Looking at the low over here, boom. So here we identified. Was the support, boom, the market broke support. Okay. First rejected the area, then broke the support, and then came back to retest the area. And last week, market so like touched that 107.19 level, okay? 107.19 level, and I was really hoping for the market to continue on sort of like a downward move. Okay, so guys, right, I was hoping to see a push to the downside, but after I saw, this spike, boom, and then the market came in and had that previous support structure, right? Resistance level rather, which is obviously following our support structure. And we have the 200 moving average somewhere around there, which usually does give us a very general idea of trend directional change. Right? I'm not yet convinced because we haven't broken any significant levels just as yet, but there's nothing really holding our price. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a swing or a push up to around that 1930 level before the market looks to push down again. Right, but like I said, you're free to trade any sort of like price on this one, short or long. Definitely try to work in this particular account. Okay, guys, you guys with me? Okay, guys, so if you guys don't have any questions, we will commence tomorrow. So tomorrow is the official start of the sessions. Now, tomorrow, 7 p.m. is the advanced classes, right? So the advanced classes start tomorrow at 7 p.m. Beginners, right? So if you're brand new, the advanced classes are just going to confuse you. So rather wait for Wednesday at 7 p.m. I'll send the code, and then you just click on the link, and then it should take you directly through to the meeting. All right. So yeah, I'll be posting the ebook as well. So for the beginners, just go through the ebook if you haven't done so, and just make sure that you download Telegram. That's where I'll be posting the videos because WhatsApp sort of like has a file limit size, so we can't post that very large videos. There's going to be an introduction, 5 modules. Introduction to trading and all of that, the platform and all of that stuff, and you'll be able to log in quite effectively and just go through sort of like and not get left too behind basically on Wednesday. Right? So we'll be more or less on the same page as everyone. Okay. All right, guys, if you guys don't have any other questions, I will be logging off today. Right, today is a bit of a short session. It's just us looking at markets. And I will be sending through the schedule. It's in PDF form. I'll send it through the WhatsApp group as well. If you guys have any questions, feel free to WhatsApp me directly. Right? I may take some time to respond, but I always do. So please don't be frustrated by that, guys. Right. Enjoy your evening, guys, and see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.